Hey, what's going on, guys? This video, we're talking about the charity auction I had on eBay for the Wenger knife. The top bid was $355. Thank you to all who participated. I think that's absolutely awesome. I mean, if it was 50 bucks, I'd be happy. I mean, anything going to charity is always a good thing. The more, the merrier. Congratulations to the winner. We'll be doing a quick review of the knife itself, and then we're going to be shipping it out to you. I haven't gotten your payment yet, but there's no rush or anything because I do have to do the actual review. Um, but once again, thank you to everyone who participated. I do want to comment quickly on the $9,000 bid. Someone bid $9,000, and they're smart enough to realize they had to have two accounts. They made two, brand new eBay accounts so they can bid against each other to get the price up to 9,000. Because obviously, let's say if it was at 200, when they bid, they can't just put 9,000 and automatically have it jump. They have to compete with themselves to get the number that high. So they're smart in that respect. Here's where they went wrong. Completely stupid to put a screen name. I think one of them was "I won't pay you," and the other one was something like "not gonna pay." Hello. If you're gonna put a fake bid on there, at least be smart enough to use a normal name so I don't know it's fake. They try to. I can't imagine they tried to botch up a charity auction. Some people are just whacked. But anyway, I obviously realized it was a fake bidder because of the fact they used that stupid name. So just what a dumb move. Anyway, I blocked them from bidding and I got rid of the bids that they placed. So anyway, like I said, the winning bid was $355. So that was awesome. Thank you so much to everyone who participated, and obviously, especially the winner. Congratulations on that. I'm going to read you a list of all the charities that were suggested via the comments and personal messages, and just as fast as I can go through them. And I'm going to tell you obviously what I picked and why. So here's the list: St. Jude's Hospital, ASPCA, anything to do with breast cancer. Some are kind of just vague, and some are specific foundations. Anything to do with breast cancer, WSPA, cancer in general, diabetes in general, USO, JDRF, which I didn't can't talk. I had no idea what that was. I had to research it myself, and it's actually interesting. It stands for Junior Diabetics Research Foundation, and obviously specifically deals with research and the treatment of our youth in America with diabetes. And I'm not sure if it's worldwide or not, but obviously just dealing with diabetic children. Diabetes obviously is a climbing concern, specifically in the U.S. More and more people every year end up with diabetes, and it's not always generic. It's just we're blowing up as a country. The bigger we get, there's a lot of people with diabetes that it doesn't run in the family. It's just their body's getting so large because they're getting so big from eating, and who knows what they put in our food these days, that the body can't produce enough insulin to maintain itself. So a lot of people with diabetes just because of the fact that they're large. It's that simple. It's not like it's generic or inherited. And there's a lot of cases where if people lose weight, they can not be diabetic anymore. So anyway, that's an interesting foundation. Next one is anything to do with domestic violence and helping, victims of domestic violence, wives, in some cases husbands, kids, stuff like that. Ronald McDonald Foundation, very popular. Cystic fibrosis research, anything to do with disabled veterans. Wounded Warriors Project came up a couple times. I thought that was a very good organization. The NRA, I'm going to comment quickly on this. I love the NRA. I donate to the NRA every single year. I am a member, and when I can, I've actually donated like $20 or $30 here and there when I get stuff in the mail, in addition to my membership. Huge fan of the NRA, huge fan of the Second Amendment. You guys know that by now. But I found it to be a little bit out of place in this list. I mean, in this hand, we have protect our rights to bear arms, okay? Our freedoms are in this hand. But then in the other hand, you got sickly kids and animals that need help. And I think the NRA is very important, but in this specific case, it's just everything else outweighs it. It went way down on my priority list compared to the whole list of suggestions. The NRA was not one of my favorite. I will continue to support the NRA the best I can. Give them money whenever I possibly can afford to. But like I said, in this case, you'll see who I picked and why, and I think it's more important than the NRA. But anyway, Toys for Tots, which I've been personally involved with in the past. Manna, Manna. You can Google them if you don't know what that is. Also dealing with broken homes and poverty in a lot of cases, and I've personally donated money and toys and stuff in the past to them. Local chapters. Make a Wish Foundation, very popular, very well known. UNICEF, the WWF, and no, I'm not talking about you know, Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker. I'm talking about the the World Wildlife Foundation. That's the commercials you see with they make you all sad about polar bears dying and stuff. I think it's great to donate to any kind of organization that helps animals, that are in trouble and their species are, you know, endangered, stuff like that. I think that's very cool. The problem is that a lot of times information and facts are twisted, specifically the polar bears. What I understand, and I didn't do a lot of research on this, so I apologize if this is an ignorant statement, but from what I understand, they talk about the polar bears being endangered, and in reality, there's a specific type of polar bear that's endangered. But polar bears as a whole are okay right now. The numbers are fine. So they kind of twist facts to make you think it's worse than it is so that you obviously donate and you can help. Now, it is a help, but the problem with a lot of organizations is that there's so much money that gets lost before you get to the end result. Let me give you a quick example. Everyone's seen the commercial, Save the Kids in Africa. And they show these poor little black kids, on the street, and their flies going in their eyeballs, and they're eating sand and rice and who knows what. They're very sad commercials. This is a very what was that? I got some kind of alien interaction here. My speaker system is going nuts. Anyway, they're very sad commercials. They pull at your heartstrings. You're watching this thing and you're thinking, Jesus, these kids, they really need help. And just for $1 a day, whatever it says, you can feed young Timmy or, whatever their names are. It's not Timmy, it's who knows what it was. But anyway, they're sad. And any human being watching that feels bad. But what I try to get past, and the reason that I don't donate to those type of organizations, is because I know that every dollar that I send, that kid's only getting a couple cents. It's a shame. If I send $1, he's not getting that dollar, okay, or she or whatever. The person making the commercial, whatever celebrity they get to make the commercial, they get paid. Sometimes people involved with these organizations do it for free. They donate their time for free, but a lot of people along the way, they get paid. Okay, so you send your dollar, and the woman doing the commercial gets 30 cents of that dollar. All right, then the people actually getting all the food together get 20 cents of the dollar. All these people throughout the process of making this happen have to get paid. So only a very small portion of that dollar actually makes it to that kid for food or water or whatever. So as bad as I feel watching those commercials, I know that if I send $1, I'm paying a bunch of other people who are doing just fine. And I don't like that concept. That bugs me. And unfortunately, most charities, not all, but most charities, they don't donate 100%. People have to get paid to make it happen. Anyway, I got really sidetracked there. I don't mean to waste a lot of time, but I just want to kind of get the point across. Okay, next, anything to do with AIDS research, Red Cross, Homefront, MDA, donating to local hospitals, just in general, whatever hospital I have by me, give them the money. That was a suggestion. The Lenny Zakin Fund, Kosher Children's Charities, Why Malawi, or Malawi, maybe it is. That has to do with a specific poverty-stricken part of the world and their troubles, and donating to them. United Through Reading was a very, very good suggestion by one of my good friends here online, and he actually made a response video talking about the charity. And I did not pick that for this specific contest, for this specific case, but I'm going to personally donate my money and buy one of those ornaments. I think it's a great cause. I spent a lot of time after watching your video and researching it. I thought it is a great cause. So I'm going to personally put some money up out of my pocket for that. That's going to be separate from this. Next we have, let's see, Pathfinder Youth Organization. Doctors Without Borders, Underprivileged Kids, Feed the Children, Hoops for Hearts, Meals on Wheels, PETA, which was interesting. I've always had a somewhat negative feeling towards PETA. A lot of people say PETA as a joke. I mean, if you have a video and I don't know, you're doing something with an animal. Even like when I had my video of the dogs and my dog and cat wrestling, no one was getting hurt, but someone said, "Oh, PETA's gonna get on you," and it's like a big joke. Oh, PETA's coming. PETA this, PETA that. And I mean, it's a serious organization. There's a lot of people who are very, very much with them and support them. I I think they're extreme. I've seen documentaries on PETA before. I personally don't like them. No offense to anyone who does like them. It's just not my choice. I don't want to donate to them. Next one is Dartmouth Hitchcock. The Shriners. Shriners was a great suggestion. My grandfather was a Shriner for like 25 years. They do a lot to help out the community. Um, Act Today is an organization, the Billy Graham Foundation, Kidney Foundation, Smile Train, Help for Heroes, RAIN, spelled RAINN, Boy Scouts of America. Boy Scouts of America, for me, is just like the NRA. I think it's great to donate, it's great to be involved, but in this case, with all these other types of organizations helping out people actually suffering tremendously, it just gets pushed down in the priority train, I guess you'd say. Um, the next one, Lafitte, and this one I was unaware. I had to look this one up as well. That's Los Angeles Families for Effective Autism Treatment, and autism is another serious thing to research, and it's a great organization. I mean, anything to do with any kind of autism is great to donate to. I know I personally know someone who has an autistic child, and it's hard to say the least. It's amazing. It's just like anyone who has any kind of special needs, children, retarded, Down syndrome, anything like that. It's I can only imagine you need such a positive attitude to grow up in that kind of environment and to get the best life for your child in that kind of circumstance. And I have much respect for all the people that have to deal with that and make it through, and they don't see it as a problem. A lot of people just, that's what it is, and we're gonna get through it. I think that's great. Next one, Habitat for Humanity. Next one is ACLU, anything to do with skin cancer. Twilight Foundation, Normal, which is NORML. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is Willie Nelson. I didn't research this, but I'm just going from memory. I think it's Willie Nelson's project foundation for medical marijuana use. Um, and again, off the cuff, no research really done with this, but if my memory serves me correct, I believe Willie Nelson was boycotting Benchmade for firing an employee who was a medical marijuana user. Benchmade fired them because they failed the drug test. He came back and said, I have, whatever he has, a permit to smoke pot medically. And they said, I don't care. It's our policy. You're on drugs. You're fired. And Willie Nelson had a boycott against Benchmade for that. Don't take my word for it 100%. This is just going by memory. I've read a lot of things on the forums, and that's all hearsay. It's not fact. But I believe there's enough people talking about it. I believe that's true. Could have been a really bad rumor. I don't know. I'm not 100% on it, but it was interesting to think about. So you might want to Google that. Anyway, someone else suggested Michael J. Fox Foundation for obviously Parkinson's research. More money for Haiti relief was another suggestion. And lastly, Boys and Girls Club of America. I was personally involved with the Boys and Girls Club of America. I was in the Boys Club for about 5 years when I was younger. It was a daycare center. And I spent a lot of time with them. But anyway, okay, so out of all those suggestions and many, many more, what did I pick? My very first thought when I started this was either one of two things. Either I'm going to do something with animals, animal shelters, because I've always had a soft spot for animals, especially animals in need. And this sounds horrible, but like I said, when you're watching these commercials on TV and you get the kids in Africa, I always feel like, that sucks. I feel really bad. But I see it so much, I've kind of like become numb to it. I see those commercials, and like I said, there's flies in the kid's face, and they're walking around barefoot and broken glass and whatever else they show in the commercial to make you feel bad. I feel 100 times worse watching that stupid Sarah McLachlan commercial, okay, for the animal shelter, and they show all these animals with a sad song playing. I have to actually change the channel for that one. I'll watch the kids in Africa and feel bad, and then wait for my show to come back. But when the animals come on, it's just like, whoa, the dog with the one eye and the holy crap. Can't deal with that stuff. It's too sad for me. And it's horrible. I feel worse for the animals than I do actual people, and that's messed up. But anyway, where was I even going with this? What was I talking about? Oh, okay. So I thought, all right, maybe animals. And it's hard. I mean, if I can donate to everyone, I would, but I have to pick. And it's very hard to say, well, this one's more important than this. Because truthfully, that's not the case. It's not like I'm not picking this because I don't care about people with diabetes, or I don't care about people with breast cancer. It's not like that. It's just what I feel is the best just for now. It's just my personal choice. That's all it is. Take it for what it's worth. But besides animals, I thought maybe something with the vets. I've always had a huge respect for any veteran, okay? Anything to do with you serving in the military, past, present, or future, if you're, going to join the military. Immense respect for you. And I sincerely mean that. It's not just BS. It's not just support the troops talk like everyone, just kind of gets on the bandwagon. I've always felt that way. I am extremely serious about that. It's very, very important for everyone to realize what soldiers do for us, okay? The freedoms that they keep for us. Society can change like that, okay? And without our military, I'm talking in the USA, and of course, if you live in other countries, you're going to have respect and honor and, what's the word? Patriotism for your specific country. If you live in France, you might not think that great about the U.S. I understand that. That's fine. I'm not asking everyone to go, yay, U.S. I live in the U.S., so that's what I care about most. It may seem selfish, but that's just how it is. But huge, huge respect for the troops, okay, past and present. It means so much. I can't even express it enough to you in a video. It truly means so much. Anyone watching this who has served, thank you so much. I really, really mean that from the pit of my heart. So that was definitely a consideration for me for donations. But ultimately, what I thought about is one of the most helpless people on this planet, and that's children. Children get a bum deal because they don't know. They're just so innocent. Kids, they don't know what's going on, and when kids are in pain, it's brutal to witness and have to deal with, and for families to have to go through that stuff. So ultimately, what I picked was St. Jude's Hospital. St. Jude's deals with a lot of cancer patients who are children, and they do a lot of research and they do a lot of treatment, and the money's going to go towards people's treatment, because obviously it's very, very expensive to go through cancer treatments. The constant testing, the constant involvement with going, and doing visits and treatments and stuff like that. It's immensely expensive, and a lot of families can't pay for it. And St. Jude's does a lot of work with them. I'm gonna have a link in the description box to St. Jude's website, so you can find more information about it if you're interested. If you're not, no big deal. But that's what I picked. At the end of the day, that's what I thought meant most. Suffering kids, because I think that is just horrendous and horrific, and I feel so bad for any kind of family that has to go through that. I don't have any kids of my own, but I can imagine, I can't really even imagine it. I think I know what it would be like, but, you just don't know until you're in that position, and I just feel so bad, and anything I can do to help, it makes me feel good. So that's the one I picked, and I don't, I'm sorry. I don't I don't want it to come across as, like I said before, that I don't have an interest in something else. Like I said, if I had the money or if I had the time, I would help every single organization that was suggested. There's so many great people out there that are trying to help, and I think that's just awesome. But it's just, I had to pick, and that's what just struck the worst for me. And I don't even have any personal experience. I don't know any children who have cancer. I don't know any families personally that have to go through that. It's just the thought of it is just, it's horrendous. So that's who I want to help out the most right now. So that's all. That's who I picked is St. Jude's Hospital. Thank you to the people who suggested it. And I've always known the name St. Jude's Hospital. I mean, it's clicked in my head, but I never really did any research on it. I never really looked into it. And the more I read, the better it seems that the money's going to go to them, and it's going to help out some kids who are suffering. So hopefully they'll get better, and that's a good cause. So that's all, guys. That's the video for the auction. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. As always, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.